Hey,
Hey, how you doing?
how are you, man? Glad to have you on.
Really looking forward to it. Unfortunately, my other half doesn't really allow me to talk about Hodl as much as I'd like, so this is a great outlet.
I think we can all kind of relate to that. Our significant others being a bit over us talking about crypto and the charts and everything out in between.
Yeah, 100%. But no, great to be here. And I said to the guys, I actually spent a bit of time in the community trying to understand what it was about and how engaged the community is, because often the numbers look good, but a lot of communities use bots and it's all a bit fake. But I thought this was like a really authentic, reputable community. So really, yeah, really pleased to be here.
Yeah, well, thank you for the comments, Adam. We put a lot of hard work into this channel over the last year, so it's nice to go noticed. I'm gonna start the recording here, and then we can go ahead and begin. Good afternoon, Whale Coin Talk community. My name is Noah. I'm here with Adam from the Hodl ecosystem. Adam, before we get started talking about your project, and there's a lot to talk about, give us a quick background of who you are, how you got to be working in the crypto space today, and more specifically, how you got to start building Hodl.
Yeah, sure. So I'm in my late 30s now. For 15 years, my passion has been building technology startups. I love the kind of the building stage, that early stage, and the creation and seeing things grow. So I've built a number of tech startups, including systems that we've SaaS systems and various systems for different industries that we've exited on, including we did an exit to Michelin and TripAdvisor. So I love the creative side of things, and that's what I've been doing ever since I kind of left education 15 years ago. I got involved in this project initially as an investor, like a couple of days into its launch, and I just was blown away by it. And I'd like to think I earned my stripes. I helped the dev who came up with the initial contract and the initial concept, and I just put in like 15, 20 hours a day, like 6, 7 days a week, and helped in a load of areas, and sort of over a few months managed to kind of work myself up to being alongside him, and gone from there really to a point where two months ago I was appointed CEO of the project. So been with it from the start, and yeah, just love seeing what we're building.
Wow, you climbed up the ranks. How did that happen, and over what period of time?
So I got involved in the first week of it launching. I just it kind of overtook my every waking moment, because I just had such confidence. I've got a nose for like a project with potential. At the time, I was also running a charity and another technology company, but I just thought, wow, this thing, like where my mind would go. When you think about the brand and the concept of what it was doing, it was very novel. It was pretty much the first token that was really at the forefront of passive income creation, and I think now that's just become like the norm. But Hodl was really on the forefront of that, and I saw how it affected people, and there was it just felt like every ingredient was there to be just a phenomenal thing. So much more than just a crypto project, like a concept of brand, what it can do for people. And I
Mhm.
just went hard financially. I gave up my time. I said to the dev, look, what do you need? And I was able to just provide some of my experiences of building culture, building organizational modeling, building technology platforms. That's what I've done really. So I helped him, and he just kept allowing me to do more for the project. And a lot of what Hodl has delivered over the last 12 months, I've been involved with, and I led on a lot of the projects. And I'm proud of that, because it's nobody can say that I haven't given everything to this thing, and continue to. So it was really just a case of working hard and taking opportunity, but I made sure I exposed myself. It wasn't luck in terms of, you know, I said along, I want to be involved. I want to go as far as I can in this. And the opportunities ultimately come up to lead it as CEO. So I've grabbed that with both hands and looking forward to the future.
Yeah, you took it and ran with it. Adam, give us a high level overview of what you guys have accomplished over the last year, and also a high level overview of this ecosystem that you're building and what makes you guys the best brand in crypto.
Well, it honestly blows my mind that the most used word in crypto is hodl. And, you know, I would kind of encourage everybody on the call to think like, you know, when you first heard that we were doing the AMA, or when you first heard of our name, like, what did you think? Because it astonishes me that, you know, we see a project in the space that's huge under this brand. But what I love most about it is how the name links to what you're meant to do. So the branding side of it for me is perfection. You hold it and you get rewarded. The rewarding mechanisms, which it all links back to, you know, we want it to be that you hold this token and it makes you happy, you know. So we started life as a BNB reward token. We pretty much led the charge, and, you know, it was amazing. Like, because I was doing a lot of the marketing at the time, and there was no other projects doing it. I think the only other project that did it was Moonrat, but I didn't. That was it. And since then, there's just been like, it's kind of become like de facto to have transaction taxes built into the ecosystem. But that was where it started. You know, it went on, as all tokens do, that kind of initial run. It went to 220 million market cap a few weeks in. So far, it's paid out over $3 million in BNB.
Wow.
And how it works is there's 10% tax on every buy, sell, and transfer, and then those tokens basically get liquefied and converted into BNB, and they go into a pot. You can see on our website those figures, and effectively, if you own 1% of the supply of tokens, you get 1% of what's in that pot every time you come to collect. So that was like Hodl at its basic and what it was about, and it was crazy. You know, one of our biggest whales was getting, I remember at peak, was getting around 230 BNB a day. It was just mad. And I really believe the reason for that was because, you know, you can imagine we trended on CMC, and we're going to trend again on CMC, and we're going to be more prepared. But can you imagine, like, on a platform like CMC, people logging on and seeing a project called Hodl trending compared to like a lot of the projects that are out there, and these, and I mean, no disrespect, but these kind of like, you know, silly names and stuff that aren't really here for the long term. So it just blew up. And since then, really the big difference is that we've tried to build more. The thing that really kind of is most important is it's more than just a smart contract. It's more than just a crypto. Like, we're trying to build a technology company. And so we're building this ecosystem around this incredible brand and this incredible tech. And within that, we've got our own NFT range, which is, I think, is amazing. All funds go back to the project, and we have like a split that helps the project. They also have utility. You can stake our NFTs. So that's a cool part of our ecosystem. We've got our own DEX where you can swap tokens, and we're going to list. Our focus with the DEX is to make it a DEX that presents passive income tokens. So it's going to have like a strategic angle to it. We've got our own farms. We've got 6 with really good APRs. We've got our own staking pools. The token does reflections. We have the best solution to reward stacking in DeFi. So for 60 cents, you can stack your reward to ensure that small investors can beat gas for up to 3 years, 10 months for 60 cents, which is amazing. We've got what we call earn pools. So you can stake. This one's really cool. We launched a pool on Monday where you can stake our reward token, which is another part of our ecosystem, Hodl X, and you can actually earn NFTs. So it's quite common to see stake NFTs and earn tokens, but we flipped it. We've got that, but we've also got stake tokens, earn NFTs in our ecosystem. So when you tot it up, you've actually got 15 different ways to make money. But on top of that, because we believe this is something that can be here forever, you know, I'm KYC'd, I'm out there, you can see my face, you can join me on LinkedIn, the team's doxed, you know, so we're legitimizing what we believe is kind of like a Pepsi or a Coca-Cola kind of brand for crypto, but building this really good ecosystem that will make sure that the BNB reward pool's flowing and give investors like loads of different opportunities to make money through staking, farming, and more. On top of that, we're going to be doing things like building a poker game. So we're going to very quickly hit the point where you've got over 20 options through which you can make money within our ecosystem.
Beautiful. So lots to unpack here. Adam, first and foremost, you mentioned reflections. Are holders of the token exclusively earning reflections in BNB, or do they have the option of earning them in other major tokens?
So the way it works is on every transaction, buy, sell, or transfer, there's a 10% tax. 6% goes to the BNB reward pool. So 6% of every transaction, the Hodl tokens get liquefied, and the sell bot converts them into BNB and places that BNB in the central reward pool. On top of that, you've got 2% goes to our liquidity pool. So again, with every transaction, we're creating liquidity. Our liquidity is locked with Unicrypt as well. Then you've got 1% to marketing and 1% to reflections. The reflections are Hodl token, and there's zero gas incurrence on that. So it's a very efficient system. You just hold the token and you've got access to BNB, and your token count of Hodl will increase naturally every time there's a transaction.
Incredible. And you guys also offer a compounding mechanism. Can you elaborate on how that works?
Is this for the reward stacking?
Yes.
Yeah. So just very quickly, just to round up on the last thing I mentioned, the other really cool thing about our reflections is that we have a total supply of 1 quadrillion, sorry, a max supply of 1 quadrillion. We've burnt 275 trillion from memory. So there's a huge burn wallet, 27.5% of the supply. That receives reflections as well. So 1% of every single transaction is moving around as reflections, and over a quarter of that goes to the burn wallet. So as the burn wallet grows, it will suck more in. So reflections are good from a deflationary perspective as well. In terms of auto compounding, yeah. So the thing that we have the staking pools and the farms on the DEX, and we're going to add an auto compounding feature. But our method towards driving engagement to our platforms is that with our rewards, our BNB reward pool, and the staking pools and farms, the idea is that we're encouraging people to go and engage them rather than just click a button and forget about it. You know, we want that engagement. So you can't auto compound on the farms or the staking pools, but we are looking at adding some utility to our NFTs so that you'll be able to access a auto compounding feature that you can activate on the farms and the staking pools when you hold the NFTs. In terms of the central BNB reward pool, it's really straightforward. You go to hodltoken.net and connect to the D app, which is /claim. You connect your wallet with the Hodl in, and it will basically show you your forecast of BNB rewards that you're going to earn. You can either elect to claim tokens or BNB, but you've also got the option to turn on reward stacking. So how that works is you activate that feature, and there's a gas fee of just around 60 cents. And once that feature's active, you're able to stack your BNB rewards until it reaches 0.1 BNB. And this is massive for like small investors. This was like a huge thing that we really worked hard on. And I would say we've got by far the best solution in DeFi. You know, for just 60 cents, you can stack up for nearly 4 years the way our system works. Now, what that means is that if somebody invests $5 into Hodl, they're going to be guaranteed to get BNB rewards because of their ability to stack. It's crazy. So it's a huge scalp for the small investors, and it kind of changes the game for them. But that's effectively the compounding feature for the BNB reward earnings. Very cheap to activate. You can run it for a long time, but it's capped at 0.1 BNB to make sure there's no sort of manipulation of the central reward pool.
And do you have metrics for the total value locked into your protocol?
Not to hand, but yes. And we've started also, we have some of that data being fed out onto our website. We're updating our dashboard, and that will be some of the metrics that we'll be presenting. And we also, all of our NFT sales revenue, we have a bot that will promote how much revenue it's generating, and we're going to add to that, you know, what we're locking. So I don't have that to hand, but I can get that and we can share it in the group after the call, or if one of the team can put that together, we can share that out on our group.
Sweet. And Adam, can you describe to us your anti-dump mechanism and anti-flip features and what makes those special?
Yes. So one of the things, you know, that people need to understand about our project, and I see it as a huge advantage. Firstly, I regard Hodl as a tech company. It's not just a smart contract with a logo. You know, this is about creating a technology that pays dividend by you holding an investment in it. It's as simple as that. Those two features came about because we sort of tried to understand the essence of sort of the behaviors we want to reward, and the kind of behaviors that are kind of against what this project is about. So the first one was the anti-dump feature. We believe it's a sensible feature to sort of have a controllable cap, which we kind of communicate, and I think we voted on previously, so that people can't sell excessive amounts of tokens, just to help sort of stabilize the charts. But it just seems it seems quite a lateral kind of thing to do. This isn't the token where, you know, for people to come and pump and dump and grab a bag and sell it in the afternoon. So as it stands at the moment, your max sell is capped at 250 billion tokens per address per 24 hours. The anti-flip feature, so again, with these are things that we've developed over time. Our contract is actually what's called a proxy contract. What that means is it's upgradable. So we audit it and we actually put the code onto GitHub, but we what that allows is us to iterate the contract, because what I'm sort of seeing out there is that if you're a technology company, you want to be able to evolve with the market. You want to be able to develop solutions, and having a immutable contract is really kind of goes against the grain there. It would be like launching an online tech company but never being able to update the source code. Now, the balance we strike is that, you know, through locking liquidity, through multi-sigs on our team wallets, through KYC, through doxing, through transparency, we give our investors that kind of security and that assurance that we're serious, legitimate, real people, and we're not going to mess around with your money. But the proxy contract allows us to roll out new innovations. So the anti-flip mechanism, the concept there was that depending on how long you've held your investment, how long you've hodled, there would be some additional taxes incurred if you're selling, say, within the first 24 hours or the first 7 days and so on. We actually rolled that feature back just to be transparent, because it was conflicting when people were creating LP, putting funds into the liquidity pool on our decks, because it was associating those with a sell. So we've actually removed that function from the contract, which is a good demonstration as to why an upgradable contract is valuable. But we're going to find a solution to delineate between LP creation and what the anti-flip is there to do, and then re-implement. But that's the concept, is you know, if people want to come in and say turn their bag around in 24 hours, then that's fine, but they've got to pay a little bit more tax.
And can you go into a bit more detail with respect to your NFTs? I know you said that you're going to offer staking, that all funds go back into the project, which is great. But what are some future utilities that it's going to provide with respect to the ecosystem?
Yeah, so so in terms of the NFTs themselves, the design's beautiful. They are the notion of a clenched fist, which represent strength, unity, and resistance, which is very relevant to our project and our identity. The hands are each kind of accessorized and designed and really fun and playful and attractive, done by an award-winning design team. Each NFT is 0.3 BNB, so it's incredibly affordable, particularly right now. And you can also buy on card. It's a range of 10,000, and there's each hand is made of 6 properties, like the stump, fingers, palm, wrist, etc. The utility right now, the first and foremost, the first thing we wanted to do was to say to our investors, hey, look, not only do you get this great art at a great price, but you can actually stake them. So once you've bought an NFT, you can put it into the staking pool, and you've got 2 options. You can either stake it to earn Hodl or to stake it to earn Hodl X, which is our reward token. And the APRs, I think, are floating at around 80% per annum. So that's pretty cool. Then on top of that, we're going to start rolling out new utilities. So I mentioned one earlier. When you have Hodl hands in your wallet, you'll be able to access and activate auto compounding for any of the staking pools or the farms that you're in on our decks. Then we want to add, if you hold Hodl hands, you get access to play to earn gaming. So we've built some free to play games, some fun games on hodlgames.net, but we want to add a play to earn element to them, which only people that hold the NFT can access. We're then on top of that going to build utility so that we're actually building a poker game. With our brand, it would kind of like be a crime not to, so we're going to build Texas Hold'em. So Texas Hodl'em in our case. So the NFTs will actually unlock a boosted poker experience as well. We've got a couple of other ideas planned, but they're definitely the 3 that we're focusing on: auto compounding, the staking, enhanced poker, and 4, play to earn gaming, which is pretty cool. Because I think recently with the BNB price drop, you can pick them up for about $65, and the gas fee is like almost non-existent.
So $65 on average for one of these NFTs.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's 0.3 BNB, so whatever that works out right now. I just know that the other week people were, I noticed it was like working out $65-70 for an NFT, and the gas is practically zero. I mean, we built them on the Ethereum network initially, but it's better to be on BSC, and on Ethereum it was like $15 to send one or $20 to mint one, and now it's like 20 cents. It's unbelievable. So it makes a lot more sense. It allows us to stake them as well, so you can earn both our primary and our reward token. But yeah, you're talking $60-70 depending on BNB price.
Understood. So you mentioned earlier the benefits, or maybe a couple benefits, to an upgradable contract. I'm curious to know if this poses any downside risk.
It's a really interesting one, and I want to take that head on because I think there's a lot of misconceptions. So I think when what we are here is we're trying to operate a company. So firstly, we're actually going to register the company now. I mentioned that. So we're actually going to create a legal entity. But the point I'm making is that there's a number of components that you have to kind of evaluate that will help you arrive at an assessment as to whether a project is legitimate and safe. The contract's one of them. So, but my stance, or our stance on this, is that we want to be a technology company, number one, that benefits our investors by holding. So to create a contract and expect in years from now that how you've constructed that contract to be the best thing it can be, in my opinion, is just fanciful. But we're aware that some people may have concerns because this can be quite a scary space, and there's a lot of people that are just bad actors. So we've worked very hard to kind of mitigate a lot of the concerns about the fact that we can upgrade our contract. Truthfully though, and I just want to speak my mind by saying this, if a contract is still locked, if it's immutable and it can't be upgraded, it's still there's still no issue. There's still the capacity for the owner, the dev team, etc., to do stuff that nobody wants to see them do. whether that's like award themselves tokens or take the liquidity. I really think the upgradable element of a contract has far more benefits than concerns. But when you evaluate a project, there's a series of things, and our job is to ensure that our investors feel comfortable. So we're doing things that are not really common in DeFi to put in place. So the list goes: I'm KYC'd, I'm very visible. You can see my face. I'm on social, I'm on LinkedIn. A number of the team are also doxed, and you can kind of engage with them. We're going to register a company pretty soon, and we've actually worked out where that's going to be because that was complicated. We've had a number of audits, and we're actually going to get more contract audits for the security there. Multi-sig wallets. So if ever we were hacked, you would need that second signatory to process a transaction. We're building stuff into the contract so that money can't flow around illegitimately. So we're using a company that will assess transactions and use AI to determine whether those transactions are okay. They will also check that we're not sending money to a wallet that's been blacklisted. We are developing certain policies that you should have. We're setting up bookkeeping, and we'll be reporting to our investors about the use of funds. So there are so many things that you can do that make investors feel comfortable and safe and secure, and put pressure on the founding team and the people running that organization to operate correctly. And we're going to have those. But I wouldn't be here if I didn't think I could keep going with this contract and keep innovating and keep adding to it. And people that are invested in our project will have seen that and experienced it. We've more than reduced our gas fees on claiming rewards by down to less than half of what they used to be. We've added the reward stacking. We're constantly innovating. So in my opinion, the future of this space is actually to allow the team to innovate, and that means an upgradable contract. However, if you want that, you've got to be prepared to put in place other protections, and that's definitely something we've done.
Adam, you mentioned a DEX earlier. I'm curious to know why you guys chose to build out a DEX, especially with so many that currently exist, not just on the Binance Smart Chain, but other chains as well. What was the idea behind building that out, and what are some distinguishing features that your decentralized exchange provides users?
Yeah, sure. I mean, there's a few things that we can kind of gain from that. So first and foremost, our community or our investors, when they use our DEX versus say PancakeSwap, the fees that the DEX or PancakeSwap would generate, rather than going to PancakeSwap, those fees go to our BNB reward pool for our investors to enjoy. That's the first benefit. We're also going to be quite strategic. We're not just going to list every project that's out there. We're going to establish a reputation for listing the best passive income projects. So we'll become a great repository and resource for passive income projects. And obviously Hodl will be very much at the center of that. On our DEX platform, because a DEX isn't like a massive thing in my opinion. It's like, yeah, we tick that box, but we are also able to do things like add, because our project has the tax. When you use PancakeSwap, it defaults to certain levels of slippage, whereas because it's our DEX, we can ensure that the default slippage settings are correct for our token. So it just makes a smoother experience. And on top of that, we are going to be building some technology that allows us to, it's a collaboration. It's something I hope the guys don't mind, but something I've been discussing with the team at Everrise. So we're going to be looking to the tax within the front end of the process rather than on chain. Now, what that means is that when you purchase Hodl through our DEX, we don't have to tax and take the tokens that you would normally take through PancakeSwap and liquefy them, which means basically selling them on our chart, which is obviously adding sell pressure. We'll actually be able to take the taxes without running the sell bot. So that's another advantage of the DEX. But actually, if you visit the platform, hodlx.exchange, that's just one part of it, because you've also got the staking pools, the farms. We're going to be adding, I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag, but we're going to be adding another really cool part to it. And you also have the earn pools where you can stake NFTs, etc. So the DEX is a part of it, and I mentioned about 4 or 5 benefits there, but alongside that, you've got all those other benefits too.
So before we move on from the DEX, what kind of APYs are stakers and poolers seeing, and what are those rewards paid out in?
Yeah, the best answer I can give to that is just by quickly hopping onto it. So in our farm, you've got options. The first APR, first APR I can see where you stake HODLX. You create a liquidity pairing of HODLX and BNB. That's 224.89% APR, which is pretty healthy. Next one, 166, 286, 159, 113, and 71. The 71 is BUSD BNB, which is obviously stable coins. Still pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, honestly, the most we're ready to blow up, because we're like offering so much value even in this terrible market condition. The pools, you get 40% if you stake our reward token, and you earn more of that. So stake HODLX to earn HODLX. If you stake HODL, you'll get paid in HODLX, and that's 55%. That's another option. We've got our earn pools where you've got 78% if you stake HODLX, and that earns HODL. And obviously your HODL gets reflections and BNB anyway when you earn that. And also on Monday, as I mentioned, we've got the stake HODLX to earn HODL hands, which is our NFTs. And the NFTs earn, and that's 156% APR. You've also got the NFT pools, which are between 142% APR and 80% APR. So I think that's pretty healthy.
And yeah, that's pretty juicy to me. And these are all paid out, just to clarify, in the HODL token, correct?
It varies, and you can see on each one, and we've literally got quite a few options there. So we've got one here that's paid out HODLX. So a number of them paid out in HODLX, but we do have which is our reward token. So it's a bit like how PancakeSwap have cake. It's similar. DEX has HODLX. But you also have pools where you can stake HODLX to earn HODL, or stake HODLX to earn our NFTs, which is very cool. And then when you get the HODL or you get the NFTs, you can stake them to earn everything else.
And for this BUSD BNB pool,
you're interested in that one.
This farm, I mean, it's juicy. I'm definitely interested in it. I'm curious to know if there's any lockup period or withdrawal penalty.
There's no. Obviously, with farms, the APRs are typically higher, and you have the risk of and please don't ask me to explain it.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh God, what's it called?
Audience members, a permanent loss. I mean, there are plenty of great resources online, but yeah, disclaimer: if you jump into a liquidity pool where both assets are volatile, or even one asset's volatile and the other one's stable, then you're always risking a degree of impermanent loss. So go put that into YouTube, and there are plenty of great tutorials explaining what it is and how it works.
Thanks for not asking me to break down permanent loss. But yeah, so it's basically the way we like to describe it is it's higher risk but higher APR. So yeah, those farms, they're all paying out in HODLX, but we're looking at more options there. The pools, you are paying out in HODLX as well. And then we have the specialist pools, which is an earn category that pay out in NFTs and HODL. So you've got all the options, really.
And Adam, you guys, I mean, you mentioned a poker game coming, and I'm assuming that will allow players to essentially wager HODL tokens against one another, maybe other cryptocurrencies as well. You've built 2 other games, though. One I believe is Hodl Ninja, and the other one is Hodl Crush. Are those currently live? Are they available on mobile? And can players actually earn HODL tokens by joining and playing the game?
Yeah, so in terms of the poker, yeah, we want to make it so that you can play using a range of currencies. We don't want to just restrict it to Hodl, but obviously Hodl will be at the center of it on some level. So that's in the works. It's going to be a big job, but we're going to crush that because our dev is world class. The guy is going to be knocking that platform out and has built some huge systems. You know, he's genuinely world class, and poker is his like absolute passion. So it's going to be something, but yeah, Hodl will be at the center of that, and then you're going to get an enhanced experience through our NFTs. But we're not. I believe it's kind of like sensible to make it. I believe there's an opportunity with the Texas Hold'em to kind of actually dominate the space for crypto Texas Hold'em, basically. So that's our intention. So we want to think bigger than just Hodl, but put Hodl at the center of it. So access to it and playing in different currencies or and things like fiat ramps will be essential to that. The games platform is live. That's hodlgames.net, and there's four there's 4 games that you can play. They're free, they're open. At the moment, because we've just started building them, we do prizes. It's kind of like in the community, we'll say, oh, whoever gets the highest score will pay some Hodl or some Hodl hands, that kind of thing. The plan, the next stage of the evolution of that, though, is that when you have the NFTs, you'll be able to access exclusively play to earn functionality within those games.
And I'm looking at your future roadmap. Obviously, you have Texas Hold'em coming up, the fiat on and off ramp, which I think is going to be huge as a gateway for people to buy directly into your ecosystem as opposed to going through multiple hurdles like the way we currently have it, and with a lot of especially smaller cap tokens. Would you explain your vision for the V2 dashboard and how that's going to look different than what we currently see today?
Yeah, I mean, if I was able to share my screen, I don't have a camera, I'd actually some of it, and we've not actually done that. So I mean, I'm happy to kind of give you that as a bit of an exclusive. It's on a whole new level. Like the first one was kind of an iterative piece of development. The second one is many hours sitting there thinking what would be the perfect experience, UI and UX. So it's kind of like going to be a huge leap forward. We're actually considering offering it as a white label solution because I think it's going to literally set the tone for what a dashboard should be on a crypto project. And it's going to be integrated into our main website because then that website will be turned into a progressive web app. So it'll be one domain, one app, and you've got everything in one place. The DEX as well will ultimately get merged into the platform too. But yeah, I mean, if we have time maybe, or, you know, I can show you some screens at the end, but it's just got a lot more functionality and it's just a stunning piece of work that will give you pretty amazing insight. You know, like we're going to actually present, it's quite interesting, but if you want to, we're working, I get on pretty well with the guy at Moonscan, who is like a reflections expert, and he's going to help us create the node archiving so that we can actually capture the correct amount of reflections, because that information is not really accessible unless you kind of build the hardware for it. So we're going to be adding that. And I had a call with a company the other day that do bookkeeping effectively for cryptocurrencies, and we're going to work with them. So we're going to use their bookkeeping API and accounting engine, so that investors will be able to see in real time how much they've invested into our project and what's it worth based on the live market price and their total transaction history and what BNB was worth at the time of their transaction, the value of the rewards they've claimed and what's that worth at the time that they claimed them, reflections. You know, it'll be literally like a live P&L against the live dollar value at the time of all executions. So there's just going to be loads of stuff. We're also going to break down every single project wallet, so you'll be able to go on to almost like a BSC scan view and see every single project wallet and get that kind of like really high level of transparency. So it's kind of like the current one, but just with like a huge leap in the UI and UX, a load of new features that we're going to build, well, you know, and we're going to do like a really sharp mobile optimized design and then integrate it into the central platform, which is our website.
Adam, I want to jump into community member questions here in a moment. Before I do, really quick, what's your vision for the Hodl app and for Hodl Pay? And also, if there's anything that I haven't covered, I mean, you guys are building a massive ecosystem, so I know that it's hard to get everything, get everything covered in an hour. But if there's anything that you want to talk about that I haven't asked about yet, please go ahead and share with us now.
Yeah, so the Hodl app is actually, again, like with the dashboard, we've already done the UI frameworking for both desktop, mobile, and app. Our vision for where this goes and the experience we want to give is that you download one app or you visit one website, and that app and that website are the same, and you've got access to everything in one place with beautiful UI, beautiful UX, user interface and user experience. And in that app, there will be two modes, a bit like the Binance app. If you've used it, there'll be like a beginner's view by default. So you don't have, it will create a wallet for you if you want. You can buy with fiat, you can claim your rewards and have them converted into fiat. And then in the future, you'll be able to send those rewards to a debit card and spend it in the real world. That's the vision. The app itself, when you go into it, you'll see your passive income life. So you'll see, right, I'm earning this much per week, this much per month, this much per year. That's what people really ultimately want to understand. And you'll be able to, you'll get an alarm when your rewards are ready to collect. You'll be able to just click a button and draw down that reward and then choose whether to sort of buy more Hodl, which when you reinvest, it's tax-free. You bypass the 10% tax, which is pretty cool, or convert it into BNB, or send it to your card as fiat effectively. That will be like the front kind of face of the app. And then there'll be like a beginner mode and an advanced mode that you can toggle between. If you go to the advanced mode, you'll be able to activate stacking, staking, and a ton of other really cool features. We want to make it so that you can claim NFTs, you can claim other stable coins as well as BNB, but these will all be things that are for people that are kind of engaged and used to our ecosystem. The primary function of the app on its kind of first download is I want my mum to be able to use it. That's like the benchmark that I'm setting for this. You know, my mum, who doesn't even probably know what crypto is you can download it, you put your card in, and you got access to that passive income. And it's not pancake swap, slippage, contract addresses, buying BNB on an exchange, sending it to a wallet, converting it to BSC. Forget all that. Download an app, put in an email, choose whether you've got a wallet or to create a fresh one, and you're away and you're earning passive income that you can kind of turn into real world money and spend on a card. That's the vision. And the reason for that is we're dealing with 1%. 1% of people are invested into crypto, and of that, around a third of them are in DeFi. So this will allow us to move into the 99.7%.
Adam, you laugh when you say that, but I know that there's seriousness to it. And I always say that when buying crypto, and not just the most popular cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum, but when buying less known but up and coming cryptocurrencies like Hodl, becomes as seamless as pulling out your phone and pressing a couple buttons, that is when the next big wave of money is going to flow into the crypto ecosystem. So I think that's something that every project and every protocol needs to strive for. Is it as easy as handing the phone to my mom and her being able to purchase the Hodl token with a few simple steps that are outlined in the app? So I think that's a fantastic goal to have, and I think that that a lot of new money will flow into your ecosystem if you guys continue to build the way you are, and you continue and you start to make it seamless to buy into your project.
Yeah, and that's at the very essence. That was what I kind of got excited about when I first invested. The idea that if we get right, that anyone anywhere in the world can access passive income freely and easily. In countries like Venezuela, you've got like hyperinflation, and countries all around the world because they're just printing more fiat. And it has to be that. You know, you can go into the app stores, that's the goal, and you'll be able to download it. But actually, to make it as a progressive web app, and what that means is you just visit our website and you can download the app. You're away. And if it isn't something that somebody that has no clue about crypto can use as an experience to download the app, to connect their card to purchase Hodl or access the rewards, and to basically be accessing passive income that they can spend on a debit card. If it isn't that straightforward and something that somebody can use that has no clue about crypto, then I've failed in my job. That's my...
Well, Adam, I think we're all rooting for you. And again, I like to hear people that are trying to innovate, but also trying to make it easier to, or rather building up those fiat to crypto gateways and making it easier for money to flow from the traditional economy into this new economy that we're all a part of today. I wanted to let a few of my community members ask questions because I do see their hands up and they've been waiting patiently for a while. So let's start with Sayed first, and then we'll go down the line.
Thank you, Noah. Okay, so I was wondering, as your contract is upgradable, so I want to know that are investors able to create any DAO proposals for making any changes and upgrades to the contract as well?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I'm glad you've asked that. It is something I'm looking at. The problem is, and this is almost a question that I would ask you, we have a very dedicated team that are kind of living and breathing this project, and that are accessing and are subject to all of the data, all of the metrics, all of the optics of the project. One of our concerns about a DAO is that if you basically try to operate a tech company whereby you give access to anyone the ability to vote, and yes, you can do it based on sort of a percentage share of the token, they're not necessarily accessible to all of those optics. So it's something I'm a general fan of, but that's my concern, that we have such a clear vision and understanding of what's going on in every part of this organization, that right now, while we're in startup mode, I believe we can make the right decisions to move the project forward. But because I do appreciate and believe in the concept of a DAO, we've been doing things like polling our community, where, for example, what did we do? We did two things. I can't remember off the top of my head. I think one was to do with like how much the sell bot was selling. We wanted to increase the amount. And then there was, we used to operate on where people could claim daily, but because the volume's a bit low in DeFi at the moment, the reward pool's lower, and subsequently smaller investors were paying too much gas to get their reward fees. So basically, it was kind of a problem for smaller investors. We polled our community. We let the community decide, and they voted. I think it was 95% wanted to move to 7-day claims so that rewards could build up. So we are trying to engage the community and poll them on making decisions. But I truly believe right now, as we're sort of developing our vision and we're in this startup phase, you can kind of put things at risk if you were to say poll too many of those decisions. So we're trying to find that sweet spot. But as the company grows, that may be something that we implement at a bigger level in the future.
Got it. I totally agree, and thank you for explaining that. Over to you, Noah.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Great question as well.
Yeah, thank you, Sayed. Let's go with Western Beast next.
Hey Noah, hey Adam. Great explanation to your project. A lot of questions have been answered, but I still have two pending questions. My first question, please give me a second. Okay, so my first question is about the ranking system. So when I went through your website and then I saw the ranking system, I saw a download icon. When I actually clicked on it, it actually just showed me an icon of the icon I saw on your website. I was expecting it to give me like an explanation of the privileges that each of those different icons are holding. So I wanted to ask, are there any special privileges that come with the higher hierarchy that goes up the line?
Do you know, I'm so glad you've asked that question. Do you know what? I'll tell you actually what we're doing there, which is nobody knows this yet. I think there's one person that knows this, and I'll tell you. So a bit of an exclusive. So firstly, yes, I'm aware of that bug, and it's in our ticketing system. I just need to basically give my dev a gentle kick up the backside to get that fixed. Because yeah, it should give you the icon so you can use it as a profile and stuff. So yeah, we're aware of that problem, and hopefully it'll get fixed this week. So sorry about that. In terms of the rankings themselves, you know, like I love the design. If you actually go into our community, we've also got like 3D stickers for them and stuff. But one of the people in our community, and I suppose this ties in with the previous question around community engagement and involvement. Somebody in our community, one of our whales actually, loves putting ideas forward. He's a very smart guy, and suggested that we do gamification around the rankings, which is something I'd considered in the past, but kind of put on, you know, it's kind of like in the corner of my mind at the moment. So I actually ran it by the dev, our Solidity dev, and the team, and we haven't announced this yet, but I'm happy to just share, you know, because we're building stuff all the time. But we're building a feature, so when you move up the rankings, particularly the higher rankings, you get prizes. So let's say you move from like a trillion, for example, to 1.5 or whatever the levels are, you'll basically be earning NFTs. So that's something that literally we approved to start the build on. I think it was Monday, and hopefully it will go live next week. So good timing for your question. I'll have to pay you for that later.
All right, Adam, that's a great answer. I knew it was going to be fixed at some point in time. So the next question I have is about the ability to get your tokens via debit cards. I don't know if I heard you correctly, or probably my Telegram was misbehaving, but you said that we could make purchases directly with debit cards. Am I correct?
Yeah, the idea is there'll be a first version of the app, which kind of is about, you know, seeing your passive income earnings, you know, by week, by month, by year, your forecast. You can reinvest, you can draw them down as BNB to your wallet. But stage 2 will be Hodl Pay, which will be so cool, because the idea is that you'll be able to send your reward, your BNB reward, to a card that can be used in the real world, and it will have to kind of liquefy it. We've been digging into that and thinking about it, but it's one of the later parts of our roadmap, because the next thing that we're going to build is the poker, because the poker's got like huge potential to generate revenue, which will blow up our reward pool. And then when we've got a massive reward pool, then it makes sense that people can convert their apps in and put it on a debit card and spend in store. And there'll be some, we're either going to partner on that, or we're going to build something of our own end to end.
All right. I'm pretty sure one of the things you'll be thinking about with the debit card issue is going to be the aspect of security. So
Yep.
are you guys developing the security yourselves, or are you partnering with any external security firms?
Yeah, so that's something we're going to evaluate as we get closer, but I'm confident we're going to find the solution, because our developer has built a lot of payment gateway systems. You know, it won't be our first rodeo, as it were. Like he's built some highly complex fiat-based payment systems. So we've looked at it. I've also been researching third-party providers. My preference with anything is that we build it in-house, because we can make something perfect. But as a general rule of thumb, there are exceptions to that. But that's the plan, is that we'll actually build our own solution, which might be like a third-party API, or build it up from the ground up, rather than we just totally outsource to a third party. But the truth is, that's going to be one of our biggest challenges and one of our biggest pieces of work, and it's one of the things that's later on the roadmap, because we want to get back to 10,000 BNB in the pool. So when we get closer to that, whilst we've kind of looked at it and discussed it, we're going to do like a huge amount of R&D, because we have to get that one absolutely perfect. There's also regulation as well. you know, there's a lot around, you know, we're starting to become highly disruptive at that point. So we also need to consider, now we know what legal entity we're going to create in the territory, we've got to start understanding more around regulation and a lot that comes with that.
All right, Adam. I'm confident that the way you guys are moving, I'm pretty sure the hassle of the security will be fixed in no time. I really appreciate your genuine and honest answers. Great. I'm wishing you the best for your projects. So may you stay bullish moonward. Over to you, Noah.
Thank you, mate. I really appreciate that. It's very kind.
Yeah, great questions, Western Beast. Let's finish it out with Aisha.
Thank you, Noah. Okay, I have read that through Hodl Forward incentive, Hodl is delivering more financial support training for those in poverty. Can you tell us a bit more about that, and how are you reaching out to poor communities, and which regions are you targeting?
Yeah, so that was something that meant a lot to me. The concept behind Hodl Forward is that through the power of passive income, we're able to help those in need. So often with charities, they receive funding, but that funding can very quickly deplete. So the concept behind Hodl Forward was that we're giving them access to passive income to make supporting them more sustainable. So the project has been putting a number of tokens and raising through our investors and through initiatives. We've been building up a pool of Hodl tokens, which is effectively earning rewards, BNB rewards. And then we have a team, we have quite a big group of people that are pitching charitable initiatives. Sadly, right now in the world, there's way too many things that
I think we might have lost Adam there.
Yeah, he cut off for me too. Just give it a second. He's probably hopping back in. Probably just some connection issues.
Yep.
Yeah, just bear with us for a minute here, guys, while Adam comes back.
Yeah, guys, we're coming towards the end of the AMA anyway. So if that was going to happen, it happened at almost the best time.
True. Oh, I think Adam's back. Let me get him.
Sorry, guys. I don't know why, but my computer just restarted itself. I think I've got too many tabs open, so apologies for that. But yeah, to finish what I was saying, then I guess we've created a pool of tokens for our charity that pays out passive rewards. You can see actually a number of case studies on our website. I think it's hodltoken.net/charity, but you can get to it through the menu system if that's the wrong URL. And we've showcased some of the projects, and it's been to do with food distribution. We did quite a bit in some slums in India. We've also done COVID hygiene training. The thing that's worked quite effectively is that the guy who's driving this, Manny, is involved in charity and is very passionate about charity and is an investor, and he's got a lot of access to various charities in India. So working with him, he's been able to run a number of campaigns. We did one the other day where we were training people in India about claiming if they're at certain levels of poverty, they're able to access funding, and a lot of them either don't know about it or don't know how to complete the paperwork. So they're doing some training there. So he takes the rewards, the B&B earnings that are created and runs initiatives. We've also done some stuff in Nigeria. There was like a group of households that sadly the house was being ran by the children because the parents had died. So we sent them some of the earnings that they made through this pool, of Hodl token, and they were able to provide essential food and nutrition to those people. So we want to do more and grow it more. It's something that I was very passionate about. I actually set that charity up. One of the concepts that we're going to add in the future is that people involved in our project will have the option to, as the name suggests, forward their reflections. So rather than I earn reflections, I have the option to have those reflections forward to the charity wallet to support the charity, because I think we all want to pay a little bit back. During COVID, I actually ran a charity called openkitchens.co.uk, and I learned a lot from that around food distribution and poverty. So we've kind of implemented some of those things, but as the project grows and as the tokens that are in the charity pool pay out more BNB, we're going to be aiming to help as many people as we can.
Wonderful, really. Thank you. Thank you for answering.
My pleasure, thank you. And just to add to that, I just want to say as well, I think I've worked with charities, and I believe that charities would really benefit from a passive income source. It's more effective than just, say, writing them a check that they can spend once. So that's really the concept. And if our community, as we all earn more money, and this is where it came from, people were earning so much BNB when we pumped that they wanted to give back. And I just sat there and thought, okay, how can we convert this into like a model? So this is how we developed it, but we're going to make it so that you can forward your reflections on and grow that wallet. And then when the pool pumps, we can either use that to buy charities Hodl tokens, so they can basically harvest those earnings and create a passive income stream to support them long term, or take some of those earnings and run some of these charitable initiatives with a focus on food and nutrition and essential supplies around the world.
I like that long-term strategy, Adam. I think that oftentimes when people have philanthropic aspirations, it's a one and done thing. And I don't think there's any malintent behind it. I don't think that most individuals understand that you need to go back and re-gauge, reevaluate, see how much progress like in this case that home in Nigeria that you mentioned has made, and then maybe fund or funnel some more funds to them to make sure that they don't have any issues going forward. We're at the end of the AMA, but I know that you have a very exciting giveaway. You know, you're giving away quite a few prizes to our community members, so we're really thrilled about that. Before we get to the fun and games and the spinning, Adam, is there anything that we haven't, as a community, asked you that you want to tell us about? And if so, what is it? If not, go ahead and give us a quick summary of who you are and what you're building.
Yeah, so I think just to round up then, I believe that we, the team and myself, we're custodians of an opportunity and custodians of what could become and what we're aiming to become the biggest and greatest brand in crypto. And a lot of responsibility comes with that. But where do you go after this? You know, Hodl for me is the pinnacle. Like, it's perfect concept of brand. It's something that will never fail to excite me. So we're committed and we're serious, and we're not here to just muck around. You know, we work hard, and that's something that we enjoy. So culturally, we're here to do something pretty amazing. And, you know, truthfully, I'm a bit tired of people saying that crypto is going to be the next big thing, but then we're not providing simple to use, clean, elegant solutions. So that's massively a part of what we're here to do. We're here to create a token that's here for the long term, that it helps you. You know, passive income is one of the biggest things that can kind of improve your life. And there's people all around the world that need more of it. So that's the essence of the project, the essence of the brand. But the sort of stamp I want to put onto it is really tuning into the detail, really tuning into the user interface and the user experience, and you know, on a personal level, my goal is to try and create something that truly changes the world. And hopefully, if you do kind of engage our group, if you do check out our project, you can see that we're actually putting our money where our mouth is. We're actually doing the work. You know, we're delivering continual updates because we truly believe in the opportunity that we've got, and we're determined not to fail. So join the journey, because it's not mine. I don't own it. I'm a custodian. I'm here for the ride. But yeah, if you would like, we'd love to have you on board.
Love that, Adam. Great closing thoughts. And with that said, Acti, let's bring out the wheel. Let's spin. We have quite a few spins, community members, a lot of prizes to be won. So definitely stick around for that.
Yeah, I'm building up the. Let's see. Can you see my screen? I know it takes a little bit to load up sometimes. Yeah, it's coming
Yes, we
through.
can.
All right, so we're doing a bunch of spins today. How many are there in total? Like 13, I think.
13 in total.
13 spins. Love it, guys. Let's get started here. And yeah,
the first 10 are going to be for tokens. Yeah.
So the first 10 spins are for tokens. So whoever gets the first 10, I'm gonna copy all your IDs, guys, and we'll contact you, and we'll send tokens over. We'll make sure everything's fine. And then the last 3 are for NFTs, I believe. So it's super exciting. And as I'm spinning here, you know, I was listening to the AMA. It was actually super exciting for me. You know, you not every day see a team, you know, that's been around for more than a year, that's put in a lot of money of their own and invested to create something super cool for us. And they really do have everything. You know, when you look at the ecosystem that's already been built. You see a lot of projects coming nowadays offering a simple staking vault or something as an utility, whereas here, well, guess what? There's a DEX, there's multiple staking opportunities. I remember Noah also got excited about some of those juicy APRs that are being offered there. So definitely check that out. It's super exciting. And another thing that I like is the upgradability of the contract. I feel we've gone like full circle with this, because around 2 years ago, everybody had that under contract. It was a given, because you didn't want to be set in stone and be fixed to something that, you know, it's crypto. It's super fast. So who knows, you know, maybe 2 weeks down the line some great new innovation comes out and you're stuck with an old contract. You want that upgradability, and the fact that it's there, it shows the degree of transparency and the trust that the owners have gained from the community. And I mean, rightfully so. I mean, there's millions of dollars that have been given out already to the community, so it just shows how cool Hodl is. And yeah, I know we didn't have even one person ask about the marketing. You know, usually there's somebody here saying like, "Oh, what about the marketing? What about that?" But I think after talking about all the trendings and people joining the community and seeing what's going on, it's sort of a given, and I like it. It's super exciting, and there's games, there's NFTs, there's merchandise. It's a whole new thing, and I'm glad to see teams like this and people creating cool DeFi products for us, and especially now in the bear market. You know, yeah, conditions are not ideal, but this is the time. This is the time to look for things that you like, things that you resonate with, and you know, just join the community, maybe engage a little bit and see if you like it. And if you're happy with it, maybe throw some money at it. You know, who knows? Now I've been spinning here nonstop. Let me see. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, and this next one is gonna be for the 10th winner, and that'll be it for the tokens, I believe. And we'll do 3 more for the NFTs. Okay, so this gentleman or lady here gets the tokens, and let me put like a comma here to make sure I got it. And the next 3 will be for the NFTs. Good luck, guys. Let's see. If it lands on me, I'll respin it. So, let's see. Congratulations, Mr. or Mrs. This gentleman, the first NFT winner. Let me shuffle it again. And this is the second NFT winner. David Pett. Congratulations, Mr. Devi. And the third NFT winner and the 13th winner of today's AMA, brought to you by Hodl here, is Mr. or Mrs. I need this gentleman. Okay, I have all your IDs here, and I believe Dizzle will just go through all of them and DM you, or we'll post it in chat and tell you how you guys can get those rewards. So thank you everybody for tuning in. This has been really great. Hodl is really exciting for our community. I believe a lot of people are already familiar with it, but with the upcoming features, it looks bullish to me. So thank you, Adam, for being here with us. It's really been great, and thank you for everybody that tuned in today and the great questions that we have too.
Thank you, everyone, and appreciate what you're saying there, Acti, as well. Appreciate it a lot.
Thank you, guys. I'm closing this out. See you all tomorrow.